So I'm here with Allison Werder. She is running for state representative against Brian Nash as a Republican. Thanks very much for coming by.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Okay, so I know a lot of people say, hey, it's August and we don't have to even think about this stuff till after September 4th and the primary, but certainly for most people you have to lay a foundation of a campaign early on. And I know you've been very busy. What are voters telling you that they're concerned about? What are they saying to you?
Yeah, well, I think you're spot on that it's hard to really get in their minds now because it is early for a November election, since I don't have a primary. But we've been out knocking on doors, meeting voters in their homes, and what I hear a lot, what seems to be coming up depending on the town, and I have Longmeadow, East Longmeadow, Hampton, and Munson, what seems to resonate is that people feel like Western Mass needs stronger representation, that we're not getting our fair share from Boston, that there are, we have long conversations about the numbers and the funding formulas and how the deck does seem to be stacked against us and that we need stronger representation to get the investment here that we need.
I was in Boston on Sunday. I hate going to Boston, but I was in Boston on Sunday and I was downtown and I was marveling at the amount of construction, the amount of skyscrapers, for lack of a better term, and we get excited out here for certain things, but I suddenly realized the disconnect. We get excited about our billion-dollar casino. We get excited about the Chinese rail car company investment. We get excited about that type of thing. But they're seeing that kind of investment all the time. So it's no wonder that maybe they think of us as country bumpkins who are easily impressed. I don't know, but there does seem to be a real disconnect between the economic activity that you see in the greater Boston area and other parts of the state. And what do you think the legislature can do to try to rectify that?
Well, I think, in the western part of the state here, we're at a disadvantage because you think about Massachusetts. It's one of the few states in the nation where you have the economic center and the political center is one and the same. Most states were smart enough to split that up. But ours is the same and we have to deal with that. But the reality is, Boston, the DMA of Boston outvotes us 9-1, all of Western Mass. So just doing business as usual and frankly going along with Boston on every vote and every referendum is not going to serve Western Mass. What I think we really need to do is we need our delegation, senators, representatives across the aisle, to work together and then to work with our governor. We can't keep fighting him, vetoing. We've got to work with him to get his attention. I think you'll find the governor and the lieutenant governor want to invest, but we've got to come to agreement as to what those investments are. Get some priorities together as a region and get them high on the priority list, because one by one we'll never get heard. We're going to get outvoted every time. But if we band together and form more of a delegation and a caucus amongst the Western Mass legislators, I think we could get our voices heard.
So as a Longmeadow resident, are you concerned about the traffic impact from MGM now that we're about a week away from the opening?
Of course. I think Route 5 is going to be, they're going to use that to get through. I think, Main Street of Longmeadow, I think East Longmeadow and the other end of Springfield are going to see it as well. I do know, I've heard that traffic is one of the reasons that you can revisit your community agreement. If traffic or crime is, if you have unexpected and unpredicted increases in either of those. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic. I want nothing more than MGM to be successful right now because that's more tax revenue back to our district, 20% off the top, coming back. So I look forward to getting that money and bringing it back. So the more success MGM has, I think the better for the region. And, if we have traffic, we'll go back and we'll revisit with MGM and, work on those community agreements to deal with it.
Allison, thank you much for coming by. We'll talk again. Thank you.